Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. I know that we need to talk about this. Judah did a fan-freaking-tastic job polishing that rear end back there. And this thing came out so good. The subframe rebuild and refresh, man, does it look good.
Whoa, I thought we were building wheel cribs in this video. But yeah, I did do a good job.
Yeah, Judah's right, we're building wheel cribs. But I already hear the commenters out there going,
dude, you have a 2-post lift. Why in the world do you need wheel cribs?
and that's because when you pull all of these parts off of the subframe, all the control arms, all the bushings, all the everything, most of them are supposed to be torqued at ride height, which means you have to lower the car down onto the ground, and when you're as thick as I am, there's no chance you're crawling underneath of it to tighten everything down. Secondarily, when you replace this many components, including the front and rear struts, and you want to adjust caster camber and toe, well, doing that on the ground sucks too. So I've got something unique that I'm planning to build with these wheel cribs, and I'll show you my design idea right here. Part of what I want to incorporate into the design of my wheel cribs is somewhere to put turn plates. I picked these up on Amazon, and the reason that I want these is, well, I want to do an alignment, and this is going to give my suspension the ability to move and rotate so that I can try to get everything to actually adjust versus trying to put something smooth underneath the crib so that it slides on the ground. This was a pretty inexpensive investment.
You know, I'm editing this video and thinking about the future. You know what else would be really cool? How about a set of scales so that I could corner balance now that I've got coilovers on the 540, and I could corner balance my race car finally. That would be really cool. I wish I'd have thought of this while I was making the video, but in hindsight, it really does make sense. These can act as a platform for alignments or for scales. Just thinking ahead.
Into what could be a great potential for shop use. Secondarily, I picked up the Gyroline kit and software so that I can try to use this at home and compare, does this work as well as an alignment? This is a 3D printed tool that you put your phone in, and then it uses your phone's gyroscopic sensors to build a whole 3D pattern in thin air to create everything. We'll see this in another video. For the second set of cribs, I'm gonna build it the same size, and then I'm gonna be using some MDF hardboard as slip plates for the rear or the front, and I can move this front and back. But by doing this, I'm really hoping to be able to expand the use of my shop and the space with something that's pretty simple to build, at least I hope so. So for supplies, I've got wood glue, and I've got a bunch of screws, and 20 2x4 by 95.5. I should have got 8-footers. Somehow I picked up studs because I'm an idiot. And I don't math very well, so I don't know if this is going to be enough to get the actual height that we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a very short version of the front turn plates just to see how it works. And the measurements I'm going to be using are going to be a little bit big because I want room for those turn plates, as well as tires. Like on my wife's car, she's got 315s on the rear, and I want to be able to accommodate a lot of tire. So we're going to be going 23 by 16 to give ourselves a lot of room. One final thought for the last of the naysayers. Can you adjust your suspension at ride height without making all of this nonsense? Yes. I made this tool to fit onto the BMW 5x120 hub. Let's see, it would bolt on like that, we'd rotate around, and we hook it up to my pull jack, and I can move each individual corner of the car until it lifts off of my lift, thus applying full weight, tighten everything down. But when it comes to the actual alignment, I can't do anything with that because I need to get the wheel compressed to be able to measure it. So in this case, well, it makes a difference how we do it. So this tool does, in fact, work. BMW actually has their own tool. I made this one. But in this specific case, it's not going to work for what we want to do. So hopefully that's the last of the naysayers that say you don't need wheel cribs if you have a lift. Ultimately, you wouldn't need wheel cribs if you had a drive-on lift. That would be great. I don't have one of those. I am fortunate enough to have the 2-post. I'm really glad I do. But we need wheel cribs. Oh, didn't get that side.
Sure it's gonna be sawdust over here.
Yep, it's true. All you woodworkers, turn away. Don't look now. I really don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm making my best attempt at creating a square box out of this. We are going to be gluing and screwing each one of these boards. We're pre-drilling through the top board, but not the bottom, which turned out to be a mistake. We did get a few splits along the way, but nothing that the glue couldn't hold.
So here's the idea of the hardboard. This is just 1/8 inch or 3/16 melamine with a, like, I don't know, dry erase board on it or something. I did a dry paste wax on both sides so that as the wheel sits down, it can slide so that the suspension can actually release the tension as we drop it down on these chocks or cribs. So we just made these 2 for the rear to test it out, or 2 in general to test it out for now. And we'll lower the car down and see what it looks like for them to hit.
For lowering it down, do we want to start with this over here so it doesn't slide off that way?
If we did, we'd only have to move it like 1/4 of an inch. I don't think it'll move very far.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Oh yeah, it's actually moving quite a bit. That's sick. Dude, it works.
Yeah.
All right, stop.
Do you want a wheel chock on the front?
Yep, that was exactly what I was doing. Because I was like, I think the car's rolling.
Yeah, I think it was rolling. That's how our lift got unaligned last time.
Yeah.
Mine moved more than yours.
Well, that worked out really well. I guess we got to make more of these things now. This moved, I don't know, probably close to 1 inch. Maybe I'll have to measure it the next time we do this.
This was the messy part of the process. We set up our little saw table here and just started chopping away. Once we had what we felt like was an adequate number of pieces, Judah and I eventually figured out a rhythm where we were able to both pre-drill and screw and work together to build this thing up to the height that we eventually landed on. It was shorter than we thought we were going to keep it, but definitely tall enough at this point. You can see Judah, it holds him just fine.
And just like that, we've got our 4 wheel cribs. And as you can see, we wound up making them quite stout. You saw previously that Judah was able to jump up and down on them without any movement, so we know that they're going to be able to hold a car, right?
Yeah, I'm like 3,800 pounds by myself.
So let's look at measurements. Judah, why don't you get some measurements here? What's our deck height?
Right there.
So the base of the tire
I can't do this.
is going to land somewhere about 14.5, and our overall height with the wheel chock on the front is what? We're looking at 16.5?
Yeah.
And then our length was 23 and width was 16. These are dramatically oversized and overbuilt, but we talked about why that was the case, and that's so that I can install these turn plates on there and fit right into the slot. Secondarily, we made the slide plates, and I made a set for each one of the cribs, so if I'm not using turn plates, I can just lower a car down onto here and everything will slide nice and smooth. And to wax them, I'm just using this Minwax paste finishing wax. This is for wood products and stuff like that. I use it on my bench here and even my tabletop to help to prevent rust and keep things nice and slippery. Deadlift. Okay.
Dang.
This is your last chance to guess. Put down in the comments, how much do you think these things weigh?
66 pounds.
Man.
66. These are heavy.
67 pounds. And that's with this little added wheel chock. Let's see, 66.6. Oh, that's a fun number. Needless to say, lessons learned here. Could you make these probably half the weight? Yep, you probably could. But it really depends what you want to put on them. My parents both have a 1/2 ton and 3/4 ton truck, and I think I'll be aligning one of those at some point. So I wanted these to be extra super duper sturdy. And with that, that was the whole reason behind adding this center beam all the way down. So if you look at all 3 sides, the center point has wood contacting all the way to the floor. So our point load is solid from the top to the bottom. Okay, same test as when we had our initial chock. You can see our gap here, minimal at best. Let's go ahead and lower the suspension out and see how much it moves. There we go, it's sliding. Are you lowering?
Yeah, the lift is like broken, like it won't lower.
It's broken, okay.
Yeah.
Let's double check and see what broken means.
So what was broken about the lift?
I was broken because I wasn't holding the lock, so
So the lift actually did its job.
it was sitting on itself.
Smart, all
Yeah.
right. Okay, we're coming off the lift and we're off. We rolled back just a smidge. That's good right there. So the reason we rolled back is because we chalked up the front tires right here just to make sure that the car wasn't gonna roll forward. Because I'm sure like everybody else out there, your garage slopes out that way. Mine's not flat, small slope, so just in case, we've got these things there, but it's still allowed for the tire to move out and to unload the suspension. And we're completely off of the lift. To test their stability, I'm just rolling the car back and forth here. I mean, there's nothing moving anywhere, and it's not gonna roll off the front or the back. But by doing that, it's allowing my suspension to unload so that I could accurately torque everything down, or better yet, accurately try to do an alignment at home. As accurate as at home can be, of course. One of the things that I noticed initially while we were testing this by hand was that there was just a bit of a bow in between each one of these boards here. As the kind of melamine sits on there, it just had a little bit of curvature. I didn't like that, so one change that I made to the top was adding a piece of 3/4 inch plywood so that the whole thing would be sheared across. And I also think it's gonna make this a lot more stable as well. So our turn plate slides right in. And then what we found playing with it is because the suspension is gonna jounce out so far, since we're not driving on here, if we slide the turn plate in, as it lowers down, it comes out into about a stabilized position so that we can use it. So we'll get both of these lined up.
Front is touched.
Yep, my side's starting to touch. Sliding out.
Yep.
Everybody's doing their job. Okay, keep going. Bam. No friction, just easy turning and adjustment. So hopefully I can get a semi-accurate caster number out of these, even though it is moving the whole car. But this will allow for a much more accurate toe setting versus it just sitting on those slide plates.
Yeah.
Because now each side can twist pretty independently. So now let's actually test the height of our cribs against what I basically made them for. I've got all of my suspension under here replaced and it all needs to be torqued down. So I'm gonna start with the lower integral link. There's a 105 Newton meter torque and a 256, which is quite a bit. We'll see exactly how I can get to it. So the car is plenty high enough for me to crawl under here. And then I got my torque wrench. And I'm going up to the upper integral link bolt first, since it's the lower torque. This one's 105 Newton meters. Okay.
That was pretty easy.
That was not bad. Oh, so nice, it fits. I thought the wheel might be too much in the way. Are we turning on that side?
No?
Okay, so we're tightening down.
Yeah.
Boy, this was plenty loose.
Come on, you got it.
So help me gosh, if this thing breaks. At least I'm able to push against the other wheel crib.
Yeah, you're pulling the suspension of the car down with this.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah, like the car is compressing onto us.
And, of course, everybody gets a grain marker. Well, the wheel crib works. I am sufficiently beat from trying to do that under the car.
Don't worry, we only have to do that one more time.
One more time on that side, but that one I'm gonna have to push up or try to figure out a way to make it pull.
Easier, actually.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna be easier or not. Either way, look, I really appreciate you guys watching. Drop down into the comments and tell me how you would have done these different, or perhaps you have done them different. And leave a like and subscribe, really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Ooh, that looks nice. Wait. I'm like, why won't it turn? Oh, we're on the ground. That makes sense.
Yeah. That would be insane to turn that at this point.
Oh, that looks so good.
That looks a lot better.
Yeah. Oh, should we do these two?
Yeah, now we kind of have to.
Dang, yeah. A lot more tape, I guess.
We have plenty of paints, so.